Okay, Mike, since this is the Halloween special, I need you to do the intro in a spooky Dracula voice.
Okay. Welcome to Redacted and Expunged. I am Count Michael, and with me as usually is, I don't know, Tristan Igor or something. I don't know.
Yes, Michael.
Does Dracula have a sidekick or anything like that?
He's got Renfield.
Who the hell's Renfield?
He's like the guy that he like enthralls and goes insane. Have you never seen Dracula?
Oh, I have. I've never seen like a Renfield guy pop up. Usually,
okay. Did you see the 1992 version of Dracula?
Was that the Bram Stoker's one?
Yeah,
long time ago.
Okay, because Tom Waits plays Renfield in that.
Okay, I kind of vaguely remember who he is. Okay, so that's kind of. I guess they have vampires can take vassals and all that stuff, but
yeah. Anyway, hi, welcome to Redacted and Expunged.
Welcome to Redacted and Expunged.
We got unofficial Dracula podcast now.
Hey, I mean it is Halloween time, Tristan, and luckily for us, there are some Halloween-esque SCPs here. Today we're gonna be doing SCP-330. I think the name was Take Two Only. Or today we're gonna do something a little bit different than normally. We used to read like paragraph by paragraph on the articles and comment on it or speculate or poke fun at it or something.
Yeah, and it was terrible.
And today we're just gonna do a complete read through and then go back to certain points or certain paragraphs and talk about the stuff. So if you just want to hear for the reading, on the video version, I'll leave a little timestamp. So if you just want to either skip to the actual show or just listen to the reading and leave, that's fine too. So I say let's get right into it. Sounds good, Tristan?
Sounds good.
All right, we got SCP-330, Object Class Safe, Special Containment Procedures. Considering recent events, SCP-330 is kept secure storage until further notice. Level 2 clearance is required to access 330 or its contents. All direct experimentation of 330 is to be conducted using Class D personnel with no genetic history of diabetes. No diabetes. No more than 2 samples are removed from SCP-330 at any time except during exposure testing. Description: SCP-330 appears to be a small round stainless steel bowl filled with variable amounts of individually wrapped pieces of candy. Taped to the side of the bowl is a handwritten note reading, "Take no more than 2, please." Attempts to remove the note have met with failure, as have attempts to hide or obscure it. Testers have noted finding it impossible to avoid reading the note, and those who approach it from an opposite angle are aware of this request. When a quantity of candy greater than 2 pieces is removed, regardless of the means involved, the offender instantly has both hands severed at the wrists by unknown method. Tests involving remote manipulation by Class D personnel result in the operator's hands being removed despite no direct contact. Inspection of the incision reveals that the cut was made at a molecular level, leaving no tool marks or identifying factors. It is to be noted that the third piece must be removed from a certain time frame. After 24 hours, the count resets, and additional candy can be removed. Discovered 3 days after Halloween of 2000. Oh, got first redacted. When a police investigation into what believed to be a case of ritualistic dismemberment was launched. SCP-330 was seized as evidence, but all attending officers were killed after Officer, Smiths emptied the bowl of its contents. The cause of death was a result of data expunged. Foundation agents under the guise of federal agents recovered the object with acceptable casualties. Addendum. Due to continuing security issues, SCP-330 will be held in Dr. Kondraki's office when not required for testing. Experiment. Name. Researcher Vought. Date. 20. Subject D331 is a double amputee equipped with prosthetic forearms and hands. Was told to remove 3 pieces of candy from the bowl. Subject complied, with no immediate effects. However, within 45 seconds, subject reported a burning itch from both his arm stumps. Right arm, 2 centimeters below elbow. Left arm, 1.5 centimeters below elbow. The phantom pains from both his absent wrists. Subject's distress at this discomfort increased rapidly within 180 seconds of having removed the third piece of candy from the bowl. The subject began forcibly removing both his own prosthetics. Upon hurling the prostheses to the ground, and subject reported. God damn it! Subject reported that the discomfort has ceased. Try to do this as clean as possible, and I mess up. All right.
I mean, if you want, you can start over.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
Dermatological examination of subject stumps revealed no unusual irritation or inflammation. Mechanical examination of the subject's processes revealed that... I know I'm feeling like an idiot when someone actually says it right. Revealed that in addition to the physical damage sustained by being hurled to the ground, the prosthetics, I don't know, I'm going to call it prosthetics, had data expunged. Subject was supplied with fresh prosthetics, identical to the first pair, but reported feeling that it was wrong to put them on. Coercion was applied, and the subject reluctantly put on the left prosthetic. Note, the subject is right-handed. However, when told to put on the right prosthetic, he began weeping incoherently and flailing his arms until the left prosthetic detached itself. Analysts of video footage revealed that the subject had not properly attached the left prosthetic to his stump. Mechanical examination of the left prosthetic revealed that only physical damage sustained from being thrown across the room. 24 hours later, subject was given fresh prosthetics and reported no difficulty in putting them on. Subject not terminated, as D-class amputees who were already used their prosthetics are in short supply. All right, so that was the thing. It was a short article, thank God, because I can't read for a damn. So let's jump all the way back up to the beginning to special containment procedures. Simple enough. I mean, it's a bowl. Like a lot of safe objects, you can just chuck it in the closet, leave it alone. But the weird thing was the addendum, though. It says, due to continuing security issues, 330 is be held in Dr. Kondracki's Kondracki. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. In his office, not required for testing. Like, I don't know why he would have it just sitting in his office.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So there's people like me who cannot, literally cannot resist candy when they see it.
Yeah.
I'm actually eating candy right now.
Okay.
So this is a security issue because if they're like me, they're going to say, oh, a bowl of candy, and then they're going to take some, and then they're just going to continue taking some until their hands fall off.
That's true. Like, it says take only... So, yeah, it does have that 24-hour time frame. So I guess, yeah, if you took one, then another one, then you take a third one, within 24 hours, your hands go bye-bye.
So let's say I'm working in this secure location.
Okay.
And I know that this bowl, if I take more than 2 pieces of candy, my hands will get chopped off.
Yes.
I'm absolutely going to take 3 pieces of candy.
Well, you get someone else to take 3 pieces of candy for you. That's what you do.
No matter what, I'm going to take as much candy from this bowl as I possibly can because I am physically unable to resist candy.
I'm going to have to kill you because a few paragraphs down, there was that officer emptied the bowl of the contents and it killed everyone in the room.
Right. I kind of love that detail.
All right. So we have no location for it and all that stuff. So we have no idea where they extracted it from, I want to say. It never gave a state or country, anything like that.
No, it just says 3 days after Halloween.
So you got a supernatural note on there, so you can't obscure it. So I'm assuming, I just imagine it's like a little post-it note originally. But if you try to throw duct tape over it, it's just gonna, the ink is just gonna bleed through, or
the duct tape will just fall off or something.
Fall off, or will the ink bleed through one for one, or will a different writing that'll say please take 2 on the piece of duct tape I used.
That would be kind of cool. I like that idea.
And then it says, was it people from multiple angles? They all see the note. Yes, testers have noted finding it impossible to avoid reading the note, and those who approach it from the opposite angle are aware of this request. I don't know if they say approach from the opposite angle, they can't see the note, and they just psychically are aware somehow that they know don't take more than 2, or if the note just magically appears no matter where someone's facing it. So if me and you are, on opposite sides of the bowl, it's oh, I can see the note, and you could be oh, me too.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's how it works, more than the psychic thing.
So you take more than 2, obviously your hands get cut off here. And it's at the molecular level, so it's just kind of, your hands just kind of fall off in a way. It's not there's no signs of, heat or tools or anything like that. It's just, they simply just boop, fall off.
Is it is it gory when that happens? There's blood everywhere?
I would say so, because it's not, they say a molecular level, and I think if something would be cut at the molecular level, there'd be no, cauterization or anything like that. It's just simply, your hands just attach at the wrists, and yeah, I'm assuming you just, you have an anime blood spurt scene going on here. But then when the cop just dumped out the bowl, everyone just got killed in the immediate area, which is kind of weird.
Right.
You'd figure the guy dumping out the bowl would die. So I guess while we're here, we'll talk about the very few redacted and expunged. It's all in the same paragraph here, so I guess we'll just cover that. So this object isn't that old because it says 2000 blank. So
within the last 20 years.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 20-year-old item. We already established that it's Officer Smith's because what is it, 6 characters? There's
a lot of Smiths in the SCP
there
universe.
Is. There's a lot of Smiths. I think with the 7 one, we always do Michael or Tristan. So. But it says the cause of death was a result of data expunged. So I'm assuming obviously they didn't die just by their hands getting cut off.
I'd like to imagine they just exploded.
Because when you take 3 pieces, you get, essentially 1 or 2 cuts. I mean, depending how you want to count it, because it's cutting out both your hands. I just imagine when you dump all the items, you just get cut like a million times. Like, have you seen the first Resident Evil movie?
A long time ago.
Remember the guy like dodging the lasers though? You remember that?
Yeah,
scene?
Yeah.
You get the end, like the lasers just like make like a grid, and just like cut him into a million pieces.
Right.
I kind of imagine just like what happened to all of them. Like as soon as he dumped it, they all just like dropped into like cubes as like pieces, or just got like turned into a hamburger or something. They just kind of just turn into a mush.
I like that idea.
But
my favorite thing about this article is where it says Foundation agents under the guise of federal agents recovered the object with acceptable casualties. What counts as acceptable though? Like,
well, it's like that's what they like. Did they go in guns blazing? Because the thing is they don't need to do that. Because they just have
I'm just imagining them like kicking down the door and rushing in and just shooting everything, like not even paying attention, just filling up the room with gunfire.
The family with the bowl doesn't even know it's anomalous or anything. It's like, guys, like, you could just use those amnestic tools, just make them forget what they saw, just take the bowl. But yeah, it's also, you assume, cops have it by the time the SCP agents roll up. So it's like, did they have to pull a Terminator and like shoot out a whole like cop station while they lost some men also?
But everybody in the cop station was dead. Yeah,
but the thing also, they says recovered was acceptable casualties. They should kind of, I guess they didn't know what it was at first when they know it's anomalous. Like, okay, it's anomalous and it's in the police station. Of course, they could just go to the police station and say, we're taking this, with all their, push and pull that the SCP power has over the world governments.
Right.
But I imagine the acceptable casualties, like they see the bull and one agent's like, ooh, piece of candy. And he takes 3, and then, his hands get cut off and he bleeds out and dies. And maybe they didn't like the guy. So he was an acceptable casualty. It's like, oh, I didn't like Agent Smithinson. It's like, he died, who cares?
Smithinson.
I mean, unless they're considering the officers to be acceptable casualties, Yeah,
and they weren't Foundation agents, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can easily rehire them. But the testing thing, that's something I would really like to know. Like, with the candy, does it, like, automatically pop up in the bowl? Do you have to put candy in there?
Doesn't it say...
I don't think it says like the candy supernaturally appears or...
Oh yeah, it doesn't really say.
So one thing I'd always would like to test is like, okay, somehow safely take out the candy or just keep taking 2 at a time until there's no candy left in the bowl, assuming that you can, it doesn't respawn or anything. But I want to do then just like fill it full of pennies or something and see if the same tactic works. Like, okay, you can take 2 pennies out, or, just does it only work for candy, or does it work with anything? Or if I mix like, let's say pennies and a candy together, can only take like, a penny and a candy, without my hands getting cut off? Or can I take, 3 things because maybe it's only counting the candy? It's just kind of weird stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to refill itself because otherwise it leaves too many variables.
Sure. Well, I mean, throwing stuff in doesn't, if you threw in 3 pieces of candy, your hand isn't going to get it.
Maybe you'll grow an extra hand.
Ooh, maybe. Or you would grow 2 extra hands if you threw 3 pieces of candy in there.
There you go. That's what you got to do. You lose your hands because you took too many candies, and then you put in 3 candies, and then you grow more hands.
One thing I really do like that's kind of cool is like if you try to like grab the candies out with like a drone or like a little hook grabby thingy or whatever, your hands still get chopped off.
Yeah, I think that's a cool detail.
It's like some dude's like 3 blocks away, like, all right, man, like I feel sorry for the guy that had to test out that theory. Like, okay, can we do this? 'Cause I'm pretty sure they didn't slap a D-class guy on that first test with that. They probably had some like drone pilot guy they got from, I don't know, somewhere in the world that's some highly skilled drone pilot's like, all right, taking the candy, and then
Oh no, it says tests involve remote manipulation by Class D personnel.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was Class D.
I mean, good thing I don't run the operation, because I would just let some guy from the SCP employee, do the remote, removal, because I figure I'd be fine. Well,
thankfully, this is run by people much smarter than us.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like, I think someone in the comments made a good point. Like, what happens if you take 4, but you have the intent to give 2 of them to your friend that's standing right next to you? I have a feeling your hands will still get chopped off, but... Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Or maybe your friend's hand will get chopped off.
Ooh, that'd be...
Because that's like the remote removal.
You both lose a hand or something.
Yeah, you both just lose 1.
I guess we're done talking about the article. I'm pretty sure I'll think of more research stuff throughout the thing. Or once we're done, I'll be like, damn it. I'll do like 42 more things. But I guess we'll do fill in the gaps. So who do you like... It never mentioned where it came from or where it was located and kind of or how it was created, but... Who do you think created this bowl?
I think it's a witch's curse.
I was thinking that too. I think it was like cultists. But I don't think it was originally made for candy, though. I have a feeling it was like meant for some kind of ritual where like you take out something out of the bowl, your hands fall off, and you're supposed to bleed into the bowl. I don't know. And then some cult member like, oh man, it's Halloween. He slaps a Post-it note on there. Well, not knowing anything you slap on there becomes magical also. So he slaps a Post-it note, fills it full of candy, puts on his ghost outfit or whatever cultists wear. Maybe he just wears his cultist outfit. He's lazy. But I do like, it kind of does beat just to having the guy sit with a bowl, in a costume. And when someone takes more into it, he reaches out.
And then you have to chop off their hands yourself.
Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass and legal issues and all that stuff. But the thing is, you think about, like, when this got discovered, I mean, was it discovered, like, because, like, it was being used in Halloween, so, like, all these poor kids' hands were getting cut off, or...
What's interesting to me is it says discovered 3 days after Halloween.
That's true, so it probably was being used for Halloween, and then SCP got all these weird reports, hospital reports of, people's hands just falling off their arms.
And it says it was an investigation into what was believed to be a case of ritualistic dismemberment. So I feel like they might have already had reason to, like, investigate ritualistic stuff.
Yeah.
So, maybe it was a cult, like you're saying.
Yeah, maybe they already had the eyes on them and said, hey, as soon as they do something weird, bust them. That's the thing also,
and boom, something weird happened.
That's the thing also, like, with the bowl, where it was located. I'm assuming, the people have it and are aware of its properties. So yeah, imagine like this whole, like, this cool, like, SCP FBI raid, like them getting in a gunfight with, like, cultists. You got, like, cultists chucking fireballs at these guys while they're, firing, machine guns. And maybe they have their own, I don't know, culty people on their side tucking fireballs back at them or whatever. But I imagine this huge firefight in this, like, small house.
Well, see, it says SCP-330 was seized as evidence, but then all the officers were killed.
Yeah.
So I imagine, like, everybody involved kind of, like, got away because there's nobody left to investigate it.
That's true. Cops picked it up first, so...
Yeah.
I guess, the containment thing would just be them walking up to the police and saying, we're taking this, and like, okay.
Yeah, the pieces of the police.
Yeah, it's like, and I imagine the bowl is just like some mundane-looking glass bowl, like, that they... Maybe with some frilly designs on the side, something looks like maybe your grandma would have. But I still like, with the ritualistic sacrifice, I still like the idea that it has to be candy. So it's like, all right, pick up the 3 box of nerds. Okay. My hands. I guess we'll move on to interactions with other SCPs. So I always wonder, like, there was that one last issue we read with the guy, the administrator, and how he was using, like, an SCP for his own use, which was like that trench coat with like a bunch of arms coming out of it. So the thing is, I wonder if he had that, picked a candy, would the arms from the coat get cut off, or would the original, wearer's hands get cut off? Like, either way, it wouldn't surprise me, because when they tried to remotely do it, the guy's hand still got chopped off. Nothing probably happened to the robot or drone.
This is going to be really confusing to the listeners because we haven't posted that episode yet.
We haven't posted yet. Look up a character named the Administrator in the SCP lore, and then he has a SCP he uses for himself called the Coat of Many Arms. I forgot the number.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I know we're kind of mentioning stuff we haven't released yet, but we'll probably even release this episode before the...
I'm looking at, like, previous episodes we've done, and there's not really any interesting interactions with SCPs we've covered on the show.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of would be, like, what would you get if you gave it into the bank?
You would get a pair of shoes that if you wore them...
They cut off your feet.
Yeah, you cut off your feet or something weird like that. Or the dream thing would be you get a bowl. It's the same, but the candy's not affected by the effects. But of course the candy would be like from another planet or something, like, glib globs, just like gumdrops or something. But...
And I'm thinking of like the self-healing lizard, like its hands would be cut off, but then it would just like grow back its hands or whatever.
Yeah. Or it's like they're about to fall off and like halfway off and they just grow back in. Like,
yeah. Now he has more hands.
Then he breaks out.
Because he had 4 hands. That was the secret he needed all along.
But the thing is, I would always want to test this on like indestructible things or anything that's like, because it can't be cut, to see if something like this would be able to cut it or not. Usually I'd imagine with indestructible things, I'd imagine they'd be able to take stuff out of there without it being affected. But what happens if you had a creature with like tentacles? If you had like 12.
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking of that, like with the worm thing that we did. Like, what would happen if the worm thing like formed into a human and then picked up like 4 pieces of candy?
Would all the worms get cut in half, or would just the worms?
The worms that are the hands would get chopped off.
I just imagine, like, for coolness sake, I just imagine like the wrists down, all the worms just get like hamburgerized or something. They always get sliced up like in a million pieces.
And this is another one we keep doing these ones where like they don't do as much detail as I would like for the SCPs. Like, there could be a lot more experiments done with this.
Yeah.
And they just give us one.
A lot of the SCPs, I would like to have like elaborate like research logs and all that stuff. I know some do, of course, but
yeah, and probably later generations, like not in the Generation 1. Like I feel like the Generation 1 or Series 1 or whatever they call it, the Series 1 SCPs
Series 1.
are like, they tend to be more bare bones than the later ones.
Which I actually kind of do like that because it kind of leaves up to imagination and
right.
It gives us a show to do.
And it's kind of like a catch-22 where like it leaves enough mystery to where you end up thinking about it a lot, but then it also leaves you just like wishing there was more.
Yeah.
Like I really love this idea. There's a lot more that could be done with it.
And sometimes it doesn't give you a lot of content to work off of because sometimes the thing is so simple and it's just like they nailed it with the description and all that stuff. Where it's just like,
right.
It's this. I can't think of any other really SCPs I'd want to try. Like anything like with indestructible or with multiple hands or
yeah.
I'm trying to think of other weird things you can do with the bowl with other SCPs or just in general. Because they try, or I tried to do things where like the guy emptied out the bowl and everyone died. But the thing I've tested is how big of a radius would that happen in? Does he have to be in the same room? Does he have to witness it? Does he see it with their eyes? And
do they have to be like associated with the guy? So like if you walk into like a busy street and just like empty the bowl, like would it kill everybody on the street?
When the officer emptied the bowl, did he say "we" and threw the bowl candy in the air, and then 3 pieces touched every officer, and then, so therefore counting as them taking 3, and then they all just got destroyed?
I think that's way more elaborate than what really happened.
I just imagine a cop just randomly with a bowl of candy. Check this out, guys! "We" and just throws a candy in the air. It's like, what the hell? Then,
well, they decided to have a candy fight.
Body cam footage would get really interesting.
Okay, so it's been a while since we've done this show, so what's our next segment after?
Next thing is media. Like, if you had to turn this into your own little story or put it into another form of media, like another already established property or something.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's in the SCP Containment Breach game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like you can take like individual pieces of candy out of the bowl, and then like if you take 3, you slowly die, kind of.
Really? Huh.
Like you bleed out. I think, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've watched the videos on it, but I'm pretty sure it's in the game.
That's something we need to do as like a live stream, is me and you. Because it has co-op, right?
No, but there's another version that has like multiplayer.
Oh, okay. As far as media goes, I can just see this kind of like being like a part of like a short story anthology thing. Like the movie Trick or Treat. Or like
I was thinking the same thing.
Or like a creep show kind of thing where like, I imagine it's like some sweet old lady, putting the candy in the bowl. Or something, or like it starts off with her putting the candy in the bowl, and she goes out and like between 4 kids, there's dicks, and they just like take all the candy, like ha 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 ha. She comes out all sad and mad, and brings the bowl in, does it again, it happens again, and then that's when you learn she's a witch. She puts the curse on the thing, even slaps maybe then she slaps the note, please take 2, and then they still take them all. And then she goes and curses the bowl. She's
angry because in previous years she's left a bowl out, and people always like take the whole bowl instead of just taking 2.
This could be
so
like
she decided to curse the bowl.
This could be a short film. Like it starts like in the 70s, and she just does this for decades. This happens, and then eventually she has a breaking point. Maybe she picked up witchcraft or something during the decades, and she curses the bowl and puts it out there. But maybe the twist is something like she didn't mean for the hands to fall off apart or something. Maybe like, the kids' hands were just supposed to close or something. But
yeah.
But the twist would be at the end of the movie is the kids go take the candy and their hands get sliced off while the witch peers from the window laughing or something.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty cut and dry. I had similar ideas of like the short story anthology. I think it would work in like a thing.
But as far as like outside influence, I can't really think of anything this is like based off of really.
No, this is pretty unique. I mean, you can tell us in the comments if you've heard of anything like this, but I've never heard of anything like this before and other stuff.
I mean, obviously, this SCP is like made to jab towards the people that are like, people that do leave the bowl of candy out. Some kid walks up like, all right, cool, empties the bowl into his pillowcase and walks off. All right, so this one will be really easy, Tristan. Survival, man. If you're out in the wilderness with this thing.
If it's me, there is no surviving it. I'm going to empty that bowl into my mouth directly.
I mean, it could be survival. I mean, like, if you're out of anywhere and you don't know what it is, especially if you're out in the wilderness, you get hungry. Man, I got this bunch of candy. It's just little pieces, it's just the fun size stuff. So you're going to eat more than 2, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like just don't be greedy and you'll survive.
Yeah, just survive off 2 pieces of small candy a day and you'll be fine. The worst thing you can do maybe is spill the candy out while you're trying to put it in the containment. I guess that's the worst thing I can think of. Or you lose track of the 24-hour clock. Like, well, I took 2 pieces. Has it been 24 hours? Yeah, sure. I'll take 1 just in case your hands are chopped off. But yeah, I can't see this thing being too dangerous. I mean, it'd be dangerous if you don't know what it is, of course, because it's just so mundane looking,
Yeah, but I mean, if you can read and follow instructions, then you're good.
Yeah, especially if you're not a dick, this thing will be safe. I mean, out in the wild, if in containment, that's a different story.
Especially if it's like a Halloween thing, it's kind of a dick move to see a bowl of candy left out and then to take everything. It's kind of a dick move to do that.
It is.
So it's if it says take 2, just take 2. Don't be an asshole.
And at the end of the night, you're gonna have about that amount of candy anyway. For each house you go to. I mean, when me and my buddy used to do it, we used to speed run doing trick or treats. We just run to each house as fast as we can so we can get every house that we possibly could. All right, so survival is easy. So I guess we'll do the rankings then.
Okay.
We'll jump right into that. So the first thing of the rankings is containment, which, I mean, that seems pretty easy to me, especially if you can empty the bowl out before putting it in the containment so you don't have to worry about spilling anything. Or, here's another thing, dude. What happens if you fill the bowl with liquid? I'm serious.
I know. It's a legitimate thing, but it's also kind of one of those things where it's too nebulous to really know.
Would you have to pour contents out of the bowl 3 times, or take a cup and extract liquid out of the bowl 3 times for your arms get chopped off?
You could empty it and just be well, that's 1 water.
Yeah, that's true. You empty the whole thing. But if it was for ritualistic sacrifice and it's full of blood, what happens to the guy that has to go empty it? I guess if you do it one dump, but yeah, I guess you'll be fine.
Yeah, you should be good.
You just turn it upside down, dump the hands and blood out, hose it off, and you're good. Well, wait, when you're hosing it off, water's always leaving it, though. Does that count as one? Do you have to continuously keep hitting it with the hose to count as one thing? Or, oh man, we need to take a field trip to SCP to see this stuff. They can mind wipe us afterwards or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. But, anyways, back to the ranking.
Okay, containment. I mean, we give a lot of things 1s and 2s, because a lot of things, I think the last few episodes we've done safe objects. I mean, the biggest risk you can handle is, of course, not following instructions or spilling the contents out of the bowl while you're the one holding it, I'm assuming. I mean, the fact this thing can chop off your hands, 2, I would say. I mean, if it couldn't chop off your hands, maybe
I feel like this is the safest thing to contain, though.
It is safe to contain, but
there's literally no risk.
But it does, if it did have any risk, say I did take 3 pieces of candy and all I got was a headache, I'd say that containment for 1, or something. Because, I don't know, I just gotta think of ways accidents could happen with this. Even though it's a highly, SCP's a highly...
yeah, but it has instructions written on it. It comes with its own set of instructions, which makes it, super easy.
We'll do the compromise. We'll say 1.5 for containment.
Sure.
Okay, so 1.5. Then next we got danger. So danger is almost kind of like the survival thing. I mean, it's just don't...
That's danger out in the wild, I feel like.
But in containment, you know what's going down. It's not...
Yeah, we're not talking about danger in containment. We're talking about danger out in the wild.
Yeah.
Which I feel like at that point, it is pretty dangerous because nobody's going to read the note.
Yeah. No one's going to read the note. No one knows what it is. At least it's not a widespread thing. If you see it happen, if 2 people walk up and one guy does it, it's not going to happen to the other guy. I mean, losing your hands suck. You can obviously bleed to death from that if you don't get medical attention immediately. I mean, it's the same kind of thing I was saying with containment. It does chop off your hands, which does lead to death, most likely.
Yeah, but at the same time, it can't attack you, so it's not that dangerous.
But it's got candy, though, so...
Right. Okay, so personal danger, for me, on my own, it's a 10.
Like survival in your case, it'd be a 10, but danger and containment, it'd be a 1, I'm assuming. I mean, unless they stationed you there, with the bowl full of candy. Yeah, I would just say 1 for danger.
Yeah, as long as you can follow instructions, that's fine.
Inside containment, it's thing. Okay, then suckiness. If you're the guy that had to be assigned to it, you might even be the D class. The D class, the researchers. The overall average of how much would it suck to work with this thing. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, if I wasn't the guy taking the candy out, I mean, I'm fine. As long as no one dumps the bowl out and I'm in the area.
This is the thing where it kind of diverges, because if you're a researcher, it doesn't really suck to work with. No. But if you're the D class that has to empty it out, it really sucks to work with. Because you're going to lose your hands.
And also, if you're a researcher, though, you still have to witness someone, losing their hands and all that stuff. It's
I imagine if you work for SCP, you're kind of used to it.
I imagine
you're probably pretty desensitized.
I don't know. I always imagine stuff like that. Even if people have a stone face, it's chipping away at them a little bit. It's just
yeah.
But also, I mean, it's a D class guy they're throwing in is this is some guy that murdered a bunch of people, like I wouldn't feel bad, when his
Yeah.
hands got chopped off. But I mean, yeah, I guess that's the point of D-Class. You always get like the worst of the worst from prisons and all that stuff.
Okay, so for suckiness, I'm just going to bring it back to like a personal level.
Oh, yeah.
It really sucks because you can't eat all the candy, so I'm going to give it a 10.
You know, a 10? All right.
Because can't eat all the candy in the bowl.
You can't eat candy. You get 2 pieces.
And nobody's happy with 2 like fun-sized Snicker bars. Come on.
That's true. Maybe the only thing I can see myself being content, maybe, are like if you get lucky and get like the bigger fun size Reese's cups. You know what I'm saying? Not the good little ones that are in the foil wrapper, but like in the plastic wrapping ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like if I got 2 of those, that's like a whole Reese's pack. I'd be content with that.
That's not bad.
But yeah, if I got like 2 just like little like Hershey, like, Mr. Crackle pieces or whatever, yeah, I'd want more.
Yeah, nobody's happy with that.
But I like how long we're taking this to figure out the suckiness because of candy. I don't know, like, if I was a D-Class, this would be like, let's just say you're a D-Class with the amputee, so they're not going to nuke you at the end of the month. I mean, you still feel that burning sensation for 24 hours.
And then your prosthetics never feel right again, and that kind of sucks.
Oh, no, that's just 24 hours. He was able to put them back on normally.
Yeah, but I didn't say it still felt weird.
No, just during the 24-hour mark, he refused to put them on. So it
let
still
me
sucks.
see.
Like you don't use your hands. So essentially, your hands did get chopped off. You get this burning sensation, which I imagine probably doesn't hurt as bad as the people actually got chopped off.
Right.
But maybe it hurts more because the people that got chopped off maybe are in shock, so they don't feel it as much. But the poor amputee guy, he just feels this like burning, aching.
Yeah, and for the next day, you can't use your prosthetics anymore.
And there's nothing you can do about it because they said there's no like indication that something's going on medically. So these guys sit there and deal with this burning pain for 24 hours. But at least with him, it goes away though, so.
Yeah, eventually.
He can slap his hands back on. But for suckiness though, I'm just trying to do an average between like a D-Class and a researcher. A researcher, it wouldn't be so bad unless, of course, the bowl gets dumped out. And of course you have to witness someone getting dismembered or all that. I would say probably just like a 3, maybe? 2.5, 3?
Sure, we'll go with that.
3, all right. 3 sounds good. I mean, it's not like fun or anything, but at the same time, it's not dangerous. It's not gonna kill you or anything. All right. So, I guess next thing would be a nickname. What cute little nickname will we give us? Assuming me and you are SCP employees, and
yeah, and we just wanted to talk about it.
Man, I would call it. I'm trying to think of some like clever joke with like in the Middle East, they usually deal with thieves by cutting their hands off. So I was trying to think of some clever joke like. With that, like call it, I don't know like what they in Arabic or whatever, what like the word for thief or the crime is called.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'd call it whatever it is. I'll call it the crime, whatever the crime is called, bull. So it's like the hand choppy off, no stealing bull.
I was trying to think of something like my first thought was like decapa candy, but that doesn't make sense because your head's not getting cut off, so
Nah.
that's out.
Wait, decapitation is only your head?
Yeah, decapitation is just your head.
What was it for? Oh, dismemberment, right? It's for limbs, right? Or
Yeah.
Okay. I thought.
Well,
you saved me there. I've been an idiot. Like, yeah, his hands got decapitated.
Yeah, this one's kind of hard. I just call it like the cursed candy bowl. I don't know.
The death bowl or something. I'm trying to think of something also Halloween-y pun with it. Man, we should probably try to think of nicknames before we start recording. Also.
Yeah,
that's also my
came
bad.
into this kind of blind.
Yeah,
Oops.
like 1 day notice.
Yeah,
we're getting back into it. Like we're like a train, Tristan. A train doesn't immediately just go fast. It's got to chug on and then pick up speed.
Then we just create like an uncomfortable experience for anybody who's still listening.
And then people realize they just get on planes and get to their destination in a quarter of the speed or a quarter of the time. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the name. I'm too lazy also to pull up the translator. So whatever the Middle Eastern or Arabic name for at least in most countries for stealing plus the name bull. So
sure, we'll go with that. That's fine. That's
anti-thief bull or the. I'm just trying to think like something maybe like anti-gluttony.
I mean, okay, if I'm not trying to be clever or trying to be cute about it, like I would probably just end up calling it the candy bowl.
I mean, especially if me and you are researchers and that's all we research is just this item. Yeah, I imagine like if you just said La Bowl. I mean, it depends on like what site you're in. Because I imagine, let's say I worked on SCP-331, or something, and we meet in the lunchroom and like, you just say the bowl and I know what you're talking about. But I'd imagine someone from another site comes over and says, you say the bowl, they're like, oh, you mean 330? Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would just call it the candy bowl. I mean, just that's the easiest.
Candy bowl.
It's not cute, it's not clever, and I know it doesn't make for a good listening experience, so I apologize to the audience, but I got nothing.
I think next issue we should just shotgun as many ideas as we have for the SCP, no matter how bad the idea is, and just like in 5 minutes see how many names, and we'll both just talk at the same time, just yelling out names. It'll be a great experience.
The listeners will love that.
It'll be at the end, so they can just skip it if they want. It's like, I'm done, and then it'll be fun to watch our YouTube analytics. It's like, why does everyone keep stopping 5 minutes before the video ends?
I mean, that's kind of how it is anyway, so it's not like we'll be losing out on a lot.
Yeah. Tristan, is there anything you wanted to add to this, to SCP-330?
No, I feel like we covered it pretty well. I do want to say have a happy and safe Halloween.
Yep.
I know this isn't this isn't like the scariest SCP we've covered, but it is like a very Halloween SCP.
It is very scary that it can just ambush you. You know, like it's very unsuspecting, you know, just a mundane bowl with a little note. You know, if you're some jerk that wants to take more than 2, well, you're paying the price big time.
Right. If you're one of those like jerkhead teenagers who empties the bowl, then yeah.
And if you are a jerkhead teenager, do not empty the bowl. Do not
You will die.
You will die, and probably everyone within, like, who knows, 30 feet around you might die too. Oh, okay, really quick. The back with the media thing. You know, there's the scene when the witch finally curses the bowl, you know, and people are taking 3 and their hands getting cut off. She's maybe just sitting there cackling, you know, she'll run outside, pick up the hands, and then, you know, eat them or whatever the witches do. But the twist would be is at the end, the kid, you know, one kid just does the whole bowl dump thing. It ends up killing him and her at the same time, kind of thing.
Oh, and that's how it ends.
And then it ends, and then the cat rolls up and starts munching on the witch's, you know, hamburgered corpse or whatever.
So anyways, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
You can find us on Facebook under, God, I don't even remember what our social media is.
And it doesn't help that they're all different names.
Yeah, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we have an email.
We'll have the links in the description below, or maybe on
sure.
On the OBS video. I'll probably add in the Oh no, I forgot to do that. I'll do that next week. Like the Weekly World News, you know, I have all the social media stuff on the side.
Oh yeah,
I forgot to add it. That was the one thing I forgot to add in with the SCP thing.
Yeah,
but,
so you can find us on social media somehow. It'll either be Redacted and Expunged or Unauthorized Personnel.
We'll have the links in the video description below.
And it's not like anybody's listening to this, so it doesn't matter anyways.
No. Who knows, we might.
This is the worst outro we've ever done.
This is the worst outro. It's been 2 months since we recorded something, I think. 2 months?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. I'm just giving you a lot more editing work to do here at this point.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
So, all right, man. Everyone, like we said, have a happy, safe Halloween. Hey, do not take more than 2 pieces of candy bowl. Anomalous or not, just don't do it.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
All the 0.5 kids that listen to this podcast / show, yeah, just don't be a dick. I mean, there's plenty of houses around. Just take a little bit from everything, and you'll have a lot. Trust me, from personal experience, I know.
Or, you know, just get a job and buy your own candy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, or just like save up, like $10. Go buy like 20 bags of candy and rent a movie or download a movie. I don't care what people do nowadays, but that's what I used to do most of the time. Me and my friends just buy bags of candy and just watch scary movies. I mean,
okay, we need to end this podcast.
No, we need to, I want to talk about the merits of Halloween and SCP. All right, man.
Okay, bye.
Have a good night, everyone.